Today, I want to talk about all of the pain and suffering that I've had to go through the past 6 months in trying to figure out a good internet source and what one of the best power banks you could possibly use is for living out of your car or van, or just from a nomadic point of view, just in general, okay? My name's Jake McCollum. I've been living out of cars for over 5 freaking years now. Damn, that feels weird to say. And I've been making nomadic videos on this channel for a very long time now. And I'm gonna be going through the whole entire thing for you as quickly as possible, because I just want you to have this information, okay? So I'm just gonna go in order of how it happened to me in events. So I think we'll start with the internet, going into the different power banks, like Jackeries, like Anchors, like Blue Yetis, all of that, okay? And so, number one, I've always just used Lowe's parking lots because, point blank, if you need good Wi-Fi, just go to the parking lot in Lowe's. It's the best. Screw Starbucks, screw coffee shops, screw the McDonald's Wi-Fi. It all sucks, okay? It's usable, okay? But if you're someone like me that absolutely 100% needs the internet for a lot of things, including work, Lowe's is your best bet. And I got to a point where that just wasn't really enough for me. I got tired of hanging out in Lowe's parking lots. It's loud. We've got people working their asses off in construction, picking up tools and whatnot, okay? I got sick of it. And I wanted my own source of internet where I could just go wherever the hell I wanted and be able to connect to the internet and it be good. You feel me, dog? And so I started by going to Best Buys, Walmart's, Targets, and picking up those little Wi-Fi extenders, okay? My first thought was like, I don't want to spend money on an internet plan. I'll just pay like 20, 30 bucks for a little adapter that makes my Wi-Fi better. So I can go and park at a park, and then maybe there'll be some Wi-Fi down the street I can connect to. That's pretty good. Tried that, didn't really work at all. So Christmas rolls around and I hear a lot of good things about Starlink nomadically from a lot of people that like to travel to rural places and set up their Starlink for that. And so I got that for Christmas. What was it, like last year? Thing is massive, okay? I live in a Prius. I love my small space. I never plan on getting a van. More power to you if that's the type of nomadic style you want to go for. It's just not for me. And so with the big ass dish that it comes with, it just took up way too much space in my car. And also it was just not stealthy for me. I'm a city slicker, okay? I know, I'm weird. I'm a weird nomadic dude, okay? And so having a big ass dish on top of your Prius just looks really weird, dude. Not to mention it does take a second to set up. It was a lot. And so yeah, if you're a van dweller and you plan on going to a whole bunch of open spaces and stuff, I do recommend Starlink, but that wasn't for me. So I end up sending back Starlink, getting my money back. They were super cool about it. And then I actually got a sponsor. Since I was looking for internet providers, I found this company called Nomad Internet, and they were working with creators like myself. And so I reached out to them, and they were like, "Hell yeah, we'll hook you up." And so they sent me a free package, and you know. Basically what happened was as soon as I received the Nomad Internet, it just did not work straight out of the box, and it was very concerning. And so I started to do some research, and I got on YouTube, and I should have done research prior, but basically a whole bunch of other YouTubers were saying that the company is a scam, and what ended up happening is that company is actually in a lawsuit in Texas right now for a lot of money for basically taking advantage of Verizon SIM cards and selling them out to other people, was from what my understanding was, and you're not supposed to do that. And it only worked half the time. Actually, it only worked 10% of the time for me. Right before I sent it back to them and said, I'm not working with you, it started to work. But apparently the case with other YouTubers was they said that it would work for like a day and then stop working, and then they'd have to get another one sent to them. So do not, point blank, use Nomad internet. Scam. Finally, I decided to bite the bullet and be like, okay, if I was gonna pay for like some sort of internet, like, you know, what would be good? And so I did some digging on Reddit and just did some research on what other nomads were using. And I actually didn't know this, but you can use like cellular towers for like internet. And I was like, okay, and so you can get routers from your service providers, whether it's Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, or whatever. I personally have Verizon for my phone service, but more on that later because I switched. And so I didn't know if I wanted to go with Verizon because it's expensive. Okay, it's expensive. And so I drove to a T-Mobile, and they had a home internet plan for. This just fell. That was my light source. Sorry about that. T-Mobile had a light. Sorry, not a light source. They had a $60 plan for home internet. It came with it comes with a router, and essentially you plug it in, and it boots up. It finds cellular towers. It finds cellular towers around town, and, you know, depending on where you are is what your connection is going to be. But it worked amazingly. And I'm like, okay, this is it. This is, like, the best thing that I've found so far. And it has been ever since I've had it. By the way, though, this is kind of the devil in the details. It's 100 gigs a month, which for a normal person, plenty of gigabytes per month, okay? But I need unlimited because I stream and I am addicted to watching YouTube and Twitch, and that takes up a lot of gigs. It's only in certain areas that you can get unlimited if you're lucky. It depends on the area that you're in. But luckily for me, they said that I could have unlimited. I will say this was really annoying. It took them 2 months for them to get it to switch for me, though. So I had 100 gigs and was paying $60 a month for 2 months before they finally switched it to unlimited, and it's still only $60 a month. And that price is going to change as we get farther into the story, by the way, because I'm going to end up saving you some money if you like the route that I took. So the router needs to be plugged in to work. Okay, let's move on to power banks now. I need a power bank, not only because it's a useful tool if you're living out of your car. You don't want to always have your car on if, because, you know, wear and tear, blah, 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 you know, you want a power bank. And so again, I'm a cheap ass. And so I got on Amazon. I was like, okay, what's the best deal for my buck wallet, whatever, diarrhea, okay? And so the first one I found was called a Blue Yeti. And actually, I didn't even get this one on Amazon. I had a friend tell me about this company. They said that they had some luck with their power bank. And so I was like, yeah, I'll give Blue Yeti a shot. So it's just a more affordable power bank. And I just need something small. You know, I typically use my 300 watt power converter right here that I got off Amazon. This thing's been a beast. It's very quiet, doesn't make a lot of noise. Highly recommend the Bisstake 300 watt converter. That's if your car's on, though. We're gonna talk about if your car's off, and you know, so power bank. So I purchased the Blue Yeti. It was a little over $200, I think, or maybe it was $150, on the cheaper side for power banks. And so they send me it, and right out of the box, it doesn't work. It's a dud. And I bought one refurbished because I'm really cheap, seriously. Just doesn't work, and I'm pretty sure the company is a China-based company, and so trying to get in contact with them was near impossible. They would reply to me via email once a day. Didn't matter how many times I emailed them or anything like that. You are only getting one email a day from them, okay? It was the worst service that I've ever had to experience. It took, what was it? It probably took an entire month, 30 days, to finally be able to send it back to them, and they did refund me. Problem was, since it was a refurbished item, they forgot to refurbish it and fix it, and they just sent me a faulty power bank. But I did a lot of research on the company, and apparently they only work for like a week or two before they completely shit out. And so, anyways, sent that one back. And so the second power bank I tried to get, I went with Anchor. And I've heard a lot of good things about Anchor. It's top rated on Amazon. Ended up going with that power bank, and this one did work. And I thought it was really cool. Had a nice style to it. And I used that for probably a week or two, you know. I used the Anchor power bank to plug in the router, and so I could have internet, I could play my video games, I could edit, I could download things, I could watch, you know, Twitch streams, etc., etc. Problem is like after a week, the power bank would randomly turn itself off, which is really bad, especially if you're in the middle of a game of Valorant, where it's a very competitive game, and if you're like right in the middle of the game and you're trying to shoot people and whatnot, and all of a sudden your internet goes out because your power bank randomly turns itself off, making the router turn off as well, and you go AFK in a game. Not cool, Anchor. So I did some research, and this happens to everyone. Everyone that got the same product as I did from Anchor said that after a week or two, the product would randomly just turn itself off. It would have charging issues. It would go from like 100% if you charged it, and then if you tried to plug something in, all of a sudden it would be at 1%. And so I was like, oh my god, I cannot catch a freaking break, dude. 2 different brands, 2 different power banks, they both are complete shit. This one is a little easier for me to send back though, since I bought it through Amazon. Amazon immediately gave me my money back, I sent it back. Then I decided just to bite the bullet, okay? And this is my recommendation to everybody. If you're getting like, you know, important electronics like this, go ahead and just spend the money on a good brand, okay? So that's when I went with Jackery here, okay? Jackery has been a well-known brand amongst the Nomad communities for a very long time now. Ever since I've had the Jackery, I've had 0 issues, and the Jackery has worked twice as well as the other power banks that I've had. It holds a charge for a really long time. I literally, I don't have to charge that all day with the router on it. And so the Jackery charges the router. This is my 3rd T-Mobile router. I forgot to tell you this story. When I originally got T-Mobile, it came with the black tower that I'm sure you saw. They were kind of cheaply made. The only problem with that is like sometimes the power cord wouldn't connect properly and it wouldn't turn on because it was made cheaply. Had to send back the first router tower that they gave me, and they were really nice about it. They straight up just gave me a replacement. And then that one worked for a little while, but it ended up doing the same thing. And then actually on my birthday yesterday, 2 days ago, they came out with that new router, and I've had no issues with that one so far. So with that said, everything is basically good now. But 2 days ago on my birthday, when I went to go and exchange that router for this new one, they were basically like, are you still with Verizon? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, so you're paying, I pay $120 a month for my phone service through Verizon. Kind of expensive, yeah, I know. And then $60 for the internet. And they were like, bro, at T-Mobile, since you already have the home internet, if you just switch your service to T-Mobile, you can have your internet and your phone service for $140 instead of $120 plus $60. And, you know, I've had Verizon for a while. They're very reliable, and, you know, It took me a while to bite the bullet, but I ended up doing that. And I mean, I've had T-Mobile now for a couple days, and it's actually been really nice. I haven't had any complaints about it so far, especially for me that likes to be a city slicker and whatnot. I've had really good connection. I've been able to stream on Twitch, which you should follow me on. That is the whole entire reason why I did all of this, is because I wanted to be able to game out of my car. That's the only reason I did all of this internet power bank stuff, is just the game. Okay, and so it'd mean a lot if you got any value out of this video. If you just give me a couple of clicks away, you can just give me a follow on Twitch. That's all I'm asking for. And I don't want anyone else to have to suffer the way that I have. I left out so many annoying, painful details about the past 6 months of trying to figure all this out. Moral of the story is, don't be cheap. Okay? Sure, there might be cheap alternatives, but like, if you just go with a well-known brand that's reliable, you're not gonna have to go through all the problems I did, okay? T-Mobile service home internet plan, it's good. Jackeries, they're good. And other than that, I hope that you have a good day.